Do you have ambitions to achieve greater things in life, but constantly find yourself unmotivated and just can't get yourself to do the actual hard work? Look, I was in the same spot until I've started more focusing on the dopamine and doing a dopamine detox. So by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to rewire your brain and reward system, to actually get pleasure from working on mentally demanding tasks and to achieve greater things in life and just feel happier in general. Even if you're not pursuing like anything more, you'll just feel more happy in general. And I think that's what the life is all about, right? So this video is mainly for people who have ambitions and goals, but when it comes to actually doing the hard work, you tend to procrastinate and postpone it. So fuck, as you all know, I'm just a regular office slave. Fuck me. As most of the people are, right? I'm not some special person having all the freedom in the world, no. But trust me, transition from this to this, like being in the same spot but more happy and achieving more, is actually really possible. It is really possible. So when I was 19, 20, I had a big desire, a big goal of mine, right? To work in the investment field. I was studying finance, and my goal right there was to get an internship at any investment fund company, right? So either private equity, hedge funds, investment funds, anything. I just wanted to get into that position, and to do this, I knew that I had to study extra besides school, right? Besides university, to studying extra curriculum, going through some courses, going through like modeling courses, and studying more on the finance, accounting statements. So I was reading like books and doing just extra stuff on it. At least I knew that I had to do this, right? I knew that I had to do this, but I was always like somehow postponing this, even though I was getting home at like 2 p.m., 4 p.m., and I had a lot of time. But I still couldn't get myself to it. I always had this idea, this image playing in my mind that, oh, I will lock in so much. I will actually put the hard work day and night. I will be grinding this stuff out. And I will be learning so much. I will read all the books on finance. I will read all the books on investment management. I will go through all of the courses. That's the idea I had in my mind, but it was never actually coming in. It was never actually coming in. I never done it actually, and I always had this like belief that somehow it will change. Some third party force will act upon me, and it will just change, because I knew, yeah, I'm coming home, I have time to do this, because it's my dream, right? It's my dream where I'm talking about, that I wanted to get in the investment field, but I didn't really do anything practical for it. And even somehow miraculously, I actually got the internship without even trying much. I got the internship in the investment fund for 2 months, and guess what? I got the internship at my like dream position, what I was hoping for, and I didn't even try it harder, right? So I got a shot at my dream, and I didn't even try it harder. I think I worked. I mean, it was unpaid internship, but I worked maybe 7, 8, more like 8 hours per week. Can you imagine that? I didn't have any other job. I just had university, which I could skip because I didn't really had to study much there. And I still wasn't focusing much on my internship, even though like it was a good position, right? It wasn't something crazy, but it was a good position, and I wasn't even focusing on it much. I didn't show much like interest in it, much passion, much work, much hard work. So why we don't even work hard when we have all of the resources, all of the required like all of the required situation, you have it by your hand, but you still are not putting work into this with all of the resources that you already have. And it all actually stems from your dopamine system, right? This person, like this part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, is like driving your decision making for it. And somewhere here, it's really weirdly shaped. It's like your brain reward system. It's called something like this. And many people think about dopamine as a pleasure hormone, but it's not right. It's actually a motivation hormone. It's the motivation to get more, to achieve more, to seek pleasure and comfort, to seek wealth. The more you have mastered the dopamine, the easier it will be for you to do boring, difficult, demanding tasks that will have payoff in the future instead of seeking pleasure immediately, right? That's how it works. So the framework that I've used and I'm using even now, I started only like 2 weeks ago, so still quite new on this. But really, the key here, is just eliminate high pleasure activities. Anything that brings you pleasure accessible. So it's mostly social media. Social media is the biggest one. Anything phone related, try to eliminate it as much as possible. No junk food, right? No binge eating. Not that popular one, but I see a lot of people still do this, like spending money on unnecessary things. Really, just for 30 days, just spend money on absolute necessities like rent, like gas, insurance, and necessary groceries, right? That and like your it's like your phone, right? So you can call people and have internet. That's the most important thing. You don't really need to spend money on anything else. Then gym plus cardio 5 times a week. If you are not going to the gym at all, just start going to the gym. If you are already weightlifting, then add cardio on top of this, because cardio, it's not fun, right? It's demanding because you have to like push yourself into that, and after a training session, you already feel tired. So doing cardio on top of that will push you more on this on that pain side of the seesaw. This is actually from the book called Dopamine. So whenever you push yourself on the pain side, like doing cold showers, fasting, training, you push yourself on the pain side, and this seesaw, it will be like that. It always has to balance. It always has to balance itself out. So when it's on the pain side, let's say you're doing cardio, right? You're on the pain side. You've stopped doing cardio. This thing, without extra stimuli, it needs to balance itself out. So it will go like this. It means it will be pushed more on the pleasure side, and you will feel like sense of happiness and motivation and overall satisfaction from life for like next 2 hours, right? So you've done 20 minutes of cardio, like simple walking on the treadmill for 20 minutes, right? Burns 200 calories. After that, you stop doing this. The pain is off the seesaw and it starts balancing itself out. It means it's pushing more on the pleasure side. So you will feel pleasure for like 1 hour at least, right? Just because you've done it, right? Just because it's difficult, for the sake of it being difficult. The restricted eating window really helps, especially if you find yourself constantly snacking. That's my problem. I constantly snack myself because that's very easy like source of distracting yourself, and you think, oh, I'm not really distracting myself because it's food I need to eat. All people need to eat to have energy and just to survive, not die. So it's easy, not like excuse. You're saying no, I'm not distracting myself. I'm getting energy. That's the problem with me. But if you're just being honest, like snacking is actually really bad for you because it fucks up your insulin sensitivity. So rather you have like 4 or 5 serious meals instead of snacking. Well, snacking is really bad. And I would recommend only after like 15 days of eliminating bad things first, only then, on the 15th day, start introducing things that actually push on your pain side. So like the fasting, right? Intermediate fasting, cold shower. I started doing cold shower on the second day because I could do it, I could handle it. It's working actually really great. And next, before going to sleep, what I found really works well is meditating or reading before sleep. So anything that will lower your heart rate and just something calm, right? So for the last 30 minutes of the day, it's really reasonable for you to unwind and if you're not engaged in any high stimulation activity. So really best things are like meditation and reading. 30 minutes before the sleep. And I noticed you can even cut your length of sleep. But if your quality of sleep goes up, the overall benefit you will get from it will actually increase. So you can cut your length of sleep from like 8.5 hours to 7.5 hours easily. And if you increase the quality of the sleep, the overall benefit, the recovery, will get better. You'll feel more energetic. I think that's a win. I think that's a great win. And obviously, no alcohol and smoking, like that's by default. You even without the dopamine detox, you you can't really do this. Don't do this. And what you should focus on is not to make like perfect 30 days where you check mark each day perfectly on 100%. No, your goal is not to quit for 30 days. That's what you must focus on. Don't quit for 30 days. Give it your best shot. You can fuck up badly. Like, let's say this X is where you fucked up. You fucked up on the last day. You fucked up here, like 4 days in a row. Please just don't quit. Don't get discouraged. You fuck up absolutely everywhere. You fuck up even here on the last 2 days. Just don't quit for 30 days. That's your goal. Your goal is not to make it perfect for 30 days. Never aim for like perfect because the perfect will never come. So just don't quit for 30 days. See how much you can do. And if you are doing well with eliminating these bad habits, right? Then after 30 days, rotate to something that you are personally struggling with, right? Rotate to the things that you know you need to fix because it's all individual. And after 30 days, I still haven't got there yet, but I know I will after 2 weeks. I think it will be the same as with alcohol. I will just do it forever. So when I wanted to quit alcohol, I decided not to consume it at all for 30 days. And after 30 days, I realized I will just do it for the rest of my life. I think I will do the same with dopamine detox. I think I will just make it my lifestyle. Not to indulge in any high stimulation activities for the whole life. Right? So the key here is eliminate bad habits first. It's much easier to take the things out from your routine that stack up new things on top of it. Because think, if you are just spending the whole day lying on the bed, right? Imagine you just slept for 24 hours. If you just slept for 24 hours, you can actually check mark your timetable because you haven't done any of the bad habits. That's a win. That's a win right there. You haven't done any of the bad habits just because you slept the whole day through. That's my mindset. So eliminate bad habits first. And you know what they are. The ones that take away the most focus from you, the ones that are the most detrimental and like allow you to multitask. When I see people watching a Netflix on the TV and at the same time scrolling their phones and snacking and vaping at the same time, it's like so detrimental for you. Oh my god, like there's no way human brain can get adapted to this. Like never. We will faster destroy human population that then get our brains used to watching Netflix, scrolling, vaping, snacking at the same time. It's just impossible. It's just so much stimulation, you'll become absolute retard. So if you like, don't multitask. That's the thing. Don't multitask. You think that you will do like few things at the same time? No, just try actually like putting focus, like actual active focus on something, and focus on something else at the same time. Like when you really focus on the book that you're reading, you can't at the same time do an interview to Goldman Sachs, right? You couldn't really do this. Or when you are squatting your max weight, you're doing 200 kilogram squat, which is really difficult. You probably can't at the same time write essay on like world hunger. You couldn't really do this, right? So multitasking is the same way of distracting yourself as like drinking alcohol and scrolling social media.